We are live.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Vancity Beats, Eats, and more. If you're tuning in right now, we are recording this episode live on the unceded ancestral lands of the Musqueam, the Tsleil-Waututh, and Squamish First Nations, what is colonially known as Vancouver, BC, and what we call Vancity. And on the show today, I'm so stoked to have one of my good friends, my homies, Nick Wisdom. If you don't know, he is a music producer, musician, DJ, avid record collector, super nerd in multiple facets.
I drive a Ferrari F-150.
This is a pure lie.
In my free time.
Yeah, in his free time. I've never ridden it because it doesn't exist, but it's okay. We all like to dream. I'm stoked to have Nick on the show. Lots of things have been going on with him most recently, especially with his music producer duo called Potatohead People. If y'all don't know, they just released their latest album called Eat Your Heart Out. Thus, the strawberries that I brought on the show. Did you even notice?
You know what? I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Not only is it berry season in, Vancity in this area, but it's also on the cover of your newest album, and I felt like I needed to represent with the strawberries.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah. So, on the show, we're cooking brunch. We're celebrating Nick. He just had a birthday that passed, actually. Fellow Gemini.
23.
You turned 23?
Yeah.
Also another lie. But, again, with this show, and when it comes to designing the menu of, what we're going to cook and who's on the show, I thought of okay, well, what does Nick like? And I talked to one of our really good friends, Thomas Maxey. Shout outs to Maxey. I was like, yo, do you remember or recall?
That's how you found out.
Yeah. I was like, do you remember or recall, anything that Nick really finds is his favorite food or whatever? And then he said the same thing that was going on in my mind. He's like,
breakfast?
No. He's like, well, I just remember that there was this period of time where Nick just kept eating steak.
That's true.
Just straight protein. So I don't know how to cook a steak. I wasn't going to try to learn for this show, but I did decide to load up on proteins. So today we are going to cook some double smoked bacon, which we'll bake. We are going to cook up this sausage, which is a mushroom truffle sausage that I got from Bosa Foods. Amazing Italian deli bakery. Yum, yum, yum.
The best.
The best. We've got butter, beans in a tomato sauce that we're going to heat up. I didn't make them. This was also from Bosa. And then we're going to do a version of sweet and savory French toast. How does that sound?
It sounds wonderful, and I'm so excited.
Are you hungry? Did you eat yet?
Eat this food. No, I've been waiting all day, thinking about this.
Without knowing what
Just
was going to be
emptying my stomach, getting ready.
You did a full-on cleanse this week.
This fine cuisine, yes. Just tea leaves and banana peels for last week. So.
Yeah, I didn't know that banana peels were really good for cleansing out the digestive system.
They make everything slippery. Yeah.
Also lying, but hey, let's go for that. Okay, do you want to help me while I also ask you questions and chat?
Let's start.
I would love for you to cut up some slices for the French toast.
Sliced bread.
Maybe like that thick.
Got it.
Yeah. And then I can pop this into the oven because this is going to take about 14 minutes to bake. For anyone who wants a healthier version of cooking up, I got this on 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Healthier version of eating your bacon. If you bake it, it turns out crispy, it releases a lot of the fat, blah, 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 and it doesn't smoke up your house. So.
And just for all the viewers at home, we did pre-wash our hands.
Yo, that's important. I straight up had my uncle comment once being like, why aren't you guys using gloves? But, whatever. It's just us eating.
The better the bread, the better.
Yeah. So this one is like a sourdough. My preference on a French toast is usually have you heard of challah? We didn't bake it. Hey. Do you know about challah bread?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the fluffy, yellowish egg bread. That is my preference for a French toast, but they didn't have it. So we're going to go for that. And then maybe I will start with this pre-mixture. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting in the ratio of 1 egg. No, is it 2 eggs? 2 eggs, 1 cup of milk. And if it's wrong, we're going to eat it anyway.
Yeah, we're going to eat it.
Yeah.
1 or 2 eggs. That's all we know.
That's all we know. Yeah. But yeah, I'm really stoked to have Nick on the show. I really wanted to give the opportunity, especially to our community, who is like the creative community out there in Vancity, to get a chance to get to know you a little bit more personally, especially like the beginnings of your music and creative journey.
Sounds good.
Yeah. So let's start from the beginning, bruv. How did music become such an important part of your life and your upbringing?
Well, I guess it's always been a part of my life.
Yeah.
As some of you may know, both my parents were radio DJs.
Yeah.
And so
on CBC.
On CBC and co-op radio, and basically music was always playing in my house. Mm-hmm. And I took piano lessons as a kid, which I really liked. And I used to have dreams about being in a band with my 2 best friends.
Yeah.
Where we were playing the Charlie Brown music in like a nightclub. And I would have this dream like all the time.
Like a recurring dream.
And like my best friend Angus was like playing a stand-up bass, and like somebody else, I don't know who it would have been, was playing drums, and I was playing the piano. And records.
Yeah. She have a big collection?
No, she had like a crate of records, maybe like 50 records or so. And I feel like I would always kind of like miss her and then listen to these records and think of her. And I don't know, it was just something that I always felt connected to. And taking music lessons too, like, was also like a really like therapeutic experience.
Out of all the instruments, what do you feel you play the strongest? Or
beats me. But I felt a really good connection with the saxophone, alto saxophone, in high school. Just going in and turning out the lights. My teacher Dylan Kramer, really great guy.
this is at Kits High.
This was when I was at Kitsilano High School, but I took the lessons privately. I go to the Kerrisdale Community Center, and we turn out all the lights and light some candles and stuff, and just kind of like improvise. He'd play the piano and I play saxophone for like 45 minutes once a week, and
wow,
it was just a really good time. I don't know, nice, good memories.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it all started for me, I guess. I can't remember the question, but something like that.
How music? Yeah, early beginnings with music. Yeah, maybe.
How many are there?
Well,
let's see. 1, 2, 3.
How many
4,
people are out there in the audience is gonna eat?
6.
Well, I'm definitely gonna eat like 7 slices.
Okay, got it.
But definitely not.
Thicker or no?
I think that's good.
I think this is a good
Yeah,
thickness.
sometimes when it's too thick, it's like the mixture doesn't get to soak as much.
Yeah. I'll do a little variety, like slight variety. So
were your parents musicians, or like what was their show about that they had?
So my dad was in a band, kind of doing like backup vocals and random synthesizer stuff a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
My mom used to play guitar and sing a lot at like cafes when she came to Vancouver. She was living in California and she came up here and just ended up staying. I wouldn't say they were like, they weren't like professional musicians or anything. They're just kind of people who liked music and art and whatever. Yeah. And all that type of stuff. So they were involved in it, but they were more like selectors and historians and stuff like that, documenting.
What was their shows called?
Well, my dad's big show was called Nightlines, but he also had a few other shows. Pearls of Wisdom.
Oh, sick! That's a good name.
Radio Sonic or something like that. Honestly, the other ones I don't remember. And then my mom's show was called Ruby Music, and it was one of the first all-women's music radio shows in North America. One of the first.
Yeah.
And when
That's dope.
And when she started the show, she was pitching it to the director, and at first they only gave her like 30 minutes or something, because they didn't think that there was enough women's music to fill a full hour once a week or whatever. But she ended up doing it for 15 years, and she recently wrote a book it's a collection of essays and interviews and stuff about women's music, and it's called Ruby Music, and it's out now. And if you're on the BC ferries, you might find it in the gift shop.
What? That's amazing.
Check it out. Yeah.
When would that have been? Like when they were like, oh, there's not enough women's
That
music
was
to
in
fill.
That was in the
like 70s or?
it would have been probably 1980.
Okay.
And then she kept doing the show, I think, into the mid 90s or so.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So then for you, with these kind of influences in your life and, seeing audio and sound and all the different ways in which you can, I guess, make a career, when did you first start getting into music and making music and putting out music?
At the end of high school, I was making a lot of movies in high school, and then we wanted to make kind of fake rap music videos.
Yeah.
Because some guys in the class above, in the grade above, made a fake rap music video for their project.
By fake, you mean parody?
Yeah, parody rap. It was just
oh my gosh, that was so an era of the internet.
Yeah. And this was 2005, I would say. I was in grade 10, I think, or grade 11. Anyways.
Yeah.
They were making these videos, and I was like, oh, we should make some fake rap videos and stuff like that. And then we started making stuff, and then we were like, you know what? Maybe we should just make some real, songs as well.
Okay, but what was one of the fake songs?
I don't know, just
It's too embarrassing to say out loud.
Well, there wasn't anything. It was just me and my friends, basically freestyling, and then we would put the beat in afterwards, in the background and stuff of the video. We just filmed on our VHS camera thing.
Yeah, the dad cam.
Somebody rapping in the hallway, and then we put the beat in the background, and it wasn't very professional, but. And then, in high school, we were rapping in the hallways and stuff. We'd have, little boom boxes in our lockers.
Yeah.
And we just were doing... It was just so much fun to just, just to mess around and sorry, I almost...
Yeah, so then it led to a actual real music group where you were like, let's do this
for real. And so that was... called Eloquent Folk.
Aha! I know this story.
And that was with...
Jordy.
Yeah, Jordy, a.k.a. Slippery Elm, and... Aero. Mm-hmm. And Nate, Astrological, who is the other half of Potatohead People. And
sick.
So we had our crew, and we entered a contest to win a record deal.
What?
With this rapper named Prince Poe from Organized Confusion. And we had to pay $100 or something to enter the contest. And we won the record deal.
Oh my gosh!
But it ended up kind of not actually being anything at all. The guy, he put our music on his website, and we basically never heard from him again.
And you paid $100 to enter?
And we paid $100 to enter. But at the time, I was like, we won a record deal. And I basically stopped going to school. I didn't stop going to school, but I was like, I'm doing music instead of film. It kind of was this is my sign that I should just pursue this music thing. I have a record deal. And so I didn't go back to university.
Okay.
And but it ended up working out, even though it was kind of like a scam or whatever, and that actually never ended up being
sorry,
anything.
I'm laughing.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I think it's funny too.
Yeah.
I think it's great that even though it ended up not being anything, just the idea that something like that could happen to me was enough to like say just jump in and go for it. So I'm happy.
So then how long did Eloquent Folk stick around for, and what?
For many years.
Any glory days from that experience?
Well, I wasn't as involved in the crew because I ended up getting more into beat making than rapping. And so I kind of was doing more of like the events organizing and stuff at the time. So for a few years we threw our own shows.
What was that called?
It's called Fantastic. Yeah.
I remember seeing posters in Aro's house. He
Yes.
still has all those shout outs to Aro. He still has all those posters.
I still have them too. They're classic. We threw many shows over the years and they were really great, and connected with a lot of artists, met a lot of cool people. Certain like bands were formed for those shows, just like Panther and the Superfly, which was a really cool project that Nate was a part of with Dave, aka Pomo, and Josh Panther, who went to Kitsilano as well. And that band ended up moving to Montreal, and that's how they met Kaytranada, and like all these little connections happened, and it's all started kind of from these shows. So.
Is that like connection to Voyage Fantastique?
Well, when I moved to Montreal, Nate was moving back kind of at the same time. We kind of switched places.
Yeah.
But we started a crew, Amaris and I, and Pomo, and Wallapie from Voyage Fantastique was in the crew as well, and Nubap, and so that's kind of how that crossover happened. It's just we all used to DJ together.
Yeah.
I miss those guys. Those are the best parties in Montreal for me.
Back then?
The Voyage, still to this day.
Yeah. I mean, when they had their just like website before streaming platforms, like I would go and I would listen to their episodes and like so groovy, so funky. It was amazing. Yeah, big fan.
They're really good selectors and DJs. Shout outs to the boys back home.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Potatohead People.
Yes. That happened out of Eloquent Folk, basically. I actually got kicked out of Eloquent Folk.
Wait, what? I don't think I know that story.
Yeah, Nate called me and he kicked me out of the group.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make beats instead. and then that's how it started.
Yeah.
But Nate I was living on Dunbar, and Nate would come over and we'd just make beats at my house. And we were originally called Astrovan.
Yeah.
Because Nate is astrological.
Okay, pause story. Do you like your bacon crispier? Because that edges look crispy, but it could go.
I mean, you could go
a little bit more.
Like a minute or two.
Yeah, let's do another minute.
A couple minutes. Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah, let's do 2 minutes.
Not too crispy.
Yeah, not too crispy.
Anyways, Nate is astrological, and I was the Wizard of Van. And so together we are Astrovan. And that was our thing. And then as we were kind of like getting our first project ready for release, we were just playing around with different names, sitting in the basement of my house, and we're like, something people, Potatohead People. Okay. And then
Were any of you fans of like actual Mr. Potato Head?
It actually has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that.
What is that original? Is it Mr. Potato Head?
I'm not sure. I'm
Yeah.
not
See,
sure.
I feel like you've fully taken over that I don't even remember.
I've never heard of that, actually. I don't recall.
Fisher Price? I don't know.
But I do know that potato head is a term, kind of like it's a couch potato or whatever.
Right.
And that predates whatever brand that you were talking about that I don't have any idea what it is.
Can you pass me that plate there?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna have to remember this is the savory French toast. So, quick update, what I did on this is I put some garlic powder and a little bit of oregano to give it that little bit of, almost like garlic bread-ish type of flavors. Yum.
Look at that, guys.
Yes.
To all our viewers back home, I know you can't tell,
Yep.
but this is world class.
World class. We're professionals here, just dropping butter and making a mess.
This is world class, guys.
What is your favorite kind of brunch food, by the way?
I don't really have favorites, but I'm a classic guy. So, bacon and eggs.
So I chose right.
Avocado, potatoes, onions, garlic,
Yeah.
sourdough. Just the classic breakfast. Sausage, whatever. Meat and eggs.
Yeah.
That's my vibe. And then whatever else is just a bonus.
So,
we have a question.
oh, let's hear the question.
We have a question from Taranay.
Oh,
Okay.
T! Shout outs to T. Crispal. One of the best in the game.
Question for Nick.
Yeah.
Would you rather A, be forced to create all of your beats quantized to a 1/8 note grid, or not be allowed to play any of the black keys on the piano for the rest of your life?
Can you answer that while I struggle with what I'm going to do with this bacon
You're
situation?
putting me in a tough spot, T.
Can you explain what
Yeah,
quantizing
explain.
and the grid?
Yes, so quantizing for all our listeners and viewers that don't know
Behind you.
is that it's when all of the elements, whatever you're quantizing, it makes those elements rigid and like glued to a grid basically, so everything is totally hitting in a 100% even pattern.
Right.
Unquantized is when there's an element of like, I guess, swing and off the grid groove, which is so okay. I'll just go with I would rather A, quantize all my stuff to a 1/8 grid than not play the black keys. Because if I only had to play the white keys, that'd be whack.
Yeah.
IMO.
It wouldn't be so jazzy. Wouldn't have mood.
That'd be whack. Because then I would just do tracks without drums. And then I wouldn't have to quantize anything, and I'd just be like an ambient producer or something. That's a great question, though, by the way. Thank you.
Yeah, you as an ambient producer is hard to imagine because when I think of Nick Wizzy, I think boogie, I think funky, I think like nostalgic with superior taste.
Well, you gotta bump into me day 4 at Shambhala, and then you'll see why I'm a perfect ambient producer.
Oh, really now?
Yeah, just kidding, just kidding.
Yeah.
But one time I went to Shambhala, and
Yeah.
and I was at my tent, and it was kind of like evenly spaced out in between all the different stages.
Yeah.
And it was like the middle of the night, and all I could hear was like echoes of like parties coming from like all these different directions. And I was like, this is my ambient album right now. Like with what I'm listening to right now, just like all these different trippy elements coming, bouncing off the mountains and stuff. Yeah, so it's good memories. That's
T says,
Shambhala.
I see that for you.
Yes.
Thank you for the question, T. Thank you for tuning in.
T, are you close by? You should come.
Come eat some
by.
brunch. She actually is.
Come-
She's just
come-
like up the
come
street.
Come jump on the show. Get on the stream.
Literally, if you make it in the next 10 minutes,
Sweet and
you
savory.
can eat the food.
Yeah.
You can join in. Okay,
Give you
back
$5.
to give you $5 randomly.
Yeah.
He got 5 on it.
I give you $5.
Potatohead People. So it's been how many years now?
14, 15 years or so that I've been in a group called Potatohead People. Going pretty well.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
And when you think about you and Nate as a duo, what do you think each of you provide to the group?
I would say, well, it's different every song.
Okay.
Nate's definitely like a musical genius.
He really is.
So a lot of like the chords, Nate is really good at writing chord progressions.
Fun fact, Nate was my piano and music teacher during the pandemic, and I learned a lot from him, especially around like chord progressions and honestly like filled with so much wisdom about life metaphors related to music. Like, excellent teacher, highly recommend.
Best teacher.
Yes.
But yeah, Nate's kind of like a chord
Thank you.
chord genius. But we write stuff together. Like we'll sit down and Nate will be playing something, and if I hear something I like, I'll tell him, and vice versa. And we both make beats and bring our beats to the studio, and we both play instruments, and yeah, every song is different. But I guess it all boils down to we have a really similar idea of what we like and what sounds good. And so we go to the studio and we turn out the lights or whatever, and
You're about the
just
lights.
we just see what happens, and
Yeah.
we find something, a place, something that sounds right, and we just kind of go with it. And yeah.
How do you make a 14-year partnership musically like that, and work relationship and friendship work?
Patience. You gotta have purpose.
Next plate.
Yeah. Same plate or next plate? Next plate.
Next plate.
Okay.
But let's, that plate. I slightly might have burned
no,
a
they're
little.
good. They're
well,
perfect.
you know, it's not bad.
They are perfect.
That looks okay. I think we'll be fine.
I think it's really good.
Okay. You know, it's, as you know, this is live, so nothing is edited. This is streaming. It's happening. We're cooking. There's a lot to manage here with timing and temperatures and, you know, making sure I make you something that you can eat. That's tasty.
Yeah, and you're doing it. You're doing it well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see the sausage.
He says they're saving their energy for the show tonight.
Oh, yes.
But they love sending their love and enjoy the brunch.
Thank you, T. Big shout outs to
You'll
Nada.
be missed. Show us Nada.
They are playing Westward Festival tonight at the Fox Cabaret.
Oh, no way.
They're on at 8.
Guest list?
Guest list? Guest list? I have a promo code, bro. I have a promo code. No big deal. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Patience.
Yeah, patience and just purpose, I guess. Like, there's a reason why we're doing this. I don't know. And
What's that purpose? What's that reason?
I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's the only thing I can do. I don't know.
Like, make music, you mean, is the only thing you can do.
I just think that together, Nate and I make something that's really interesting, and it's kind of effortless because we're not really trying to do that. We're just doing what we love, but I think there's some value in what we do, and we're really lucky to have that, something that we share. And yeah, like we have something that we both love that we can share together, and that goes a long way to having a relationship that lasts so long.
Aww. I love that, and I love Nate.
And we both like different types of girls, and that helps too.
I'm literally dead, but that's also important, I guess. You know, because you can't be fighting over the same person.
It helps. Yeah.
Hold on a second. So this latest album, Eat Your Heart Out, how do you feel about it now that it's come out and it's being shared to the world? I remember last year, and even like I was trying to lock in this interview with you for a while, and it was hard to lock you in because you were like, no, I'm fully in the album, it's almost done. And then you excitedly sharing with me at the club, it's like, you'll never guess who's on it, Redman's on it, you gave me a little preview. And just like all these things that happened, this was like last year actually. And so now it's done and it's out in the world. How do you feel about that?
I feel good, yeah. It's really satisfying to make an album always. Like, and this album I feel like particularly proud of just because every song on it I feel like is a good song in itself. I feel like when you're making an album, sometimes you get to this point where you just kind of have to like wrap it up, and parts of it are not like exactly what you want it to be, and there's songs on there that maybe aren't as good as the other ones or this or that. But with these ones, I was like, I like this song, I like this song, I like this song. And I think that these tracks are more like songs than they are like, let's say, beats with rappers and singers on it. Like, a lot of the time, I felt like the songs were kind of just, like I was layering these different elements, but they were still kind of like separate in my mind, like the beat, the rap, the singing. But now I feel like these songs are very much like one thing that really like works together.
Yeah, like it all really came together as a package.
Yeah, like I just feel like it's naturally works. I don't know.
Well,
I'm happy about it.
Yeah, and in terms of like your own learning, because you know every album, especially in an artist's discography, it like builds off of like the learnings from the last project, and hopefully is actually something that is more evolved better than the last. You know, in what ways do you feel like you got to evolve as an artist in the creation of this latest album, especially from the last, which was
Mellow Fantasy.
Mellow Fantasy, yeah.
This album, we did a lot more singing and like writing lyrics, and
for those of you who don't know, a lot of the hooks being sung on that is Nick. You know, a number of times I've had to explain that to people. They're like, wait, what? That's Nick's voice? And I'm like, yeah, yo.
Yeah, I like singing. I like to sing sometimes, for sure. But yeah, these songs have more singing on it, and I feel like you could say, how have I grown? I've grown as a songwriter, you know, and I think that I'm getting better at writing more like catchy hooks, I guess. I'm still working on it, right? But I feel like I'm getting better at that, I guess. And I'm enjoying it more.
Versus before?
Well, I love singing. The more I do it, the more I love it, you know? It's really fun to sing. And I sing every day. I walk around and just sing everywhere I go.
Yeah, walking through.
And people look at me funny, but I'm always smiling.
Aww. Well,
yeah.
I want you to smile after you try some of this.
I'm going to smile.
This is the savory version.
Wow.
You know, I also took a little bit of
This guy's
inspiration from classic Montreal breakfasts. You know, like,
True.
Montreal breakfasts, they don't play. It's like they come with the full spread of like a savory thing, the fruit and sweet thing, the baguette with the creton, blah, blah, blah. So, and also the big thing is the beans. like when they do the Phife Dawg, the like
This is a
maple
nice
baked
addition,
beans.
these beans.
But this is a different version. We're going Italian
Look
here.
at those beans.
You know, should I put it on your plate?
Yeah,
like,
put
what
the
do you-
beans on the plate for sure.
Didn't know
Or
if
we
you wanted
can put
to
them
do
in my pocket too.
Oh yeah, save it for later. Fork,
Fork,
knife.
knife.
I got maple syrup here.
We're down one fork.
What? Oh, I have a fork hiding here. Bada boom, bada bang. Okay, first time ever. Savory French toast.
Are we doing this right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
with double smoked bacon, truffle, mushroom, sausage, tomato, baked beans. Yeah, and if you
Wow.
want some sweetness in
Sweet.
this. Well, yeah, because it'll be savory sweet. Maybe I'm going to try that and that. Oh, my knife.
Oh yes, knife, knife, knife.
Thank you, Nikki.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wait. You're going. This guy's starving.
I've been eating banana peels for a week.
Yeah, you're ready. Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
Yum.
Holy smokes!
Tell everybody in East Van
I had to let the world know.
that the beans are
The
good.
beans are good.
Let's try the sausage.
Wow, the truffle. Wow.
Scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like truffle and things?
I like it, but it just has to be the right amount. There's,
Yeah, too much is too
Yeah.
much.
There's some really good truffle dumplings by my house.
Oh, the truffle mushroom ones from Camoin?
Yeah,
I already know, $5 holla.
yeah. Vegan, for those vegans out there.
Okay, I'm gonna do a little something crazy. I'm gonna do the savory sweet with a bit of maple syrup on my French toast. Do you want in on that or?
Yeah,
Yes.
let's try it.
So, anyone who really knows you really well and personally, and maybe has been to your house, know that you're a pretty
So two
avid.
people.
Know that you're a pretty avid collector of things, obviously
Something.
records. But what do you like to collect, Nick Wizzy?
Besides records? I have like a... It's kind of embarrassing. I have a small, like CRT TV collection of old tube TVs from the 90s. I like TVs. And tube TVs in particular.
Yep.
They look cool. I like to watch movies on them, like old movies on my VHS player.
Latest old movie that you watched most recently?
Face Off.
Oh, with Nicolas Cage?
and John Travolta. Yeah, that's a
That's a classic.
weird movie. Really weird.
Did you hear about that thing where like
Makes me sick. Honestly.
why?
Just that scene where Nick Cage like wakes up or whatever, and he doesn't have a face, and he's like, "Oh, my face." Yeah. It's weird. But yeah, good movie. What about you? Watching any good old movies?
Ooh. What was it? Honestly, I can't remember. But it's like on the tip of my tongue. I feel like
What happens in the movie, and then maybe the viewers can guess what the name of the movie is.
oh, if I tell them the plot line.
Tell us the plot.
Okay, well, darn it, it's so obvious if I tell them. It involves cheerleaders.
Okay. Bring It On. 2.
Actually, it was number 2 because
That's the better one.
with Solange, I disagree. I think the Kirsten Dunst and Gabrielle Union was the most real.
Well, agree to disagree.
Because the Bring It On 2 had...
I've never seen it.
Why are we even talking about this? So, tell me about what it was like to work with Redman, Abstract, Rude, T3. Big names, hip-hop heroes. Like, how did that happen?
Honestly, I have no idea. I think it's just like the music found its way, sort of. You know, like, I think it just was right that it happened because, I don't know. I really don't know how it happened.
Oh my gosh, Nick. I feel like
I'm
I'm asking you questions, but I low-key feel like I'm feeding you answers. How about Playlist Retreat? Don't you think maybe that has something to do with it?
Maybe.
So Playlist Retreat is an event that DJ Jazzy Jeff, hip-hop legend, puts together where he invites different musicians, producers, artists to come to his property where he's set up like basically a camp, like a retreat. And Nick and Nate, when was that, 2019? 2018, got the invitation from Twitter, thought it... Gmail, thought it was fake, thought it was like, is this even real? And then actually got a phone call?
Yeah, somebody called me and was like, Jazzy Jeff wants to bring you to his house. And I was just like, wait a second. And that same day I had been in kind of like a little tiny car incident. So I was really like feeling bad about myself and sad. And I had come home from work and I checked my email and I saw this thing and it was like, Jazzy Jeff wants to talk to you. And no, I knew what it was actually when I got the email. And so I was tripping out because it was such a low and then go to such a high in like the same day. And I just went outside and like lay on the ground and like looked up at the sky and was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was cool. I met a lot of cool people there. I honestly, the Redman thing and like T3 and Abstract Rude, none of that had anything to do with Playlist because this whole like thing, it all started with Frank Nitt.
Frank and Dank.
I told this story kind of recently on
The CBC?
On CBC. But basically, this is like how it all happened. On Facebook, I would add rappers and stuff on as friends and just see who would add me back. And Frank Nitt added me back. And
this was how long ago?
This was in 2010.
Word.
And Frank Nitt, for those who don't know, is a rapper from Frank and Dank, which was a group produced by Jay Dilla.
They're originally from Detroit?
From Detroit. So I added Frank on Facebook, and then I saw him posting that he was doing features for like $500 or something, and to hit him up. So I was like, hey man, can I send you some songs? Send him some tracks, and then he's like, I'll do the whole song for $500.
Wow.
And then so I borrowed $500 from my mom. And I was like, Mom, this rapper on Facebook wants to do a song with me, and he worked with Jay Dilla, and it's only $500, and I need the money. And my mom was like, you want to send somebody on Facebook $500? Like, this is not good. But she lent me the money, and
she took a leap of faith.
We did the track, and Frank is the guy who ended up connecting us with Illa J. Who's Jay Dilla's little brother.
Shoutouts to Illa J.
Shoutouts to John. Miss you, man.
John and Yancy.
Gotta hang soon. We still have stuff to do, John. So I'm gonna find you. But basically, yeah, and then through John, we connected with Phife Dawg and connected with eventually De La Soul. Also, the De La Soul thing happened because I was working on their Kickstarter campaign for their album, The Anonymous Nobody. I personally boxed up all the fulfillment packages of the different like tiers that people like donated or whatever. They got like a different package.
Oh,
sent to them.
amazing.
I boxed those up. So if you got a package in the mail,
It was touched by Nick Wisdom.
it was me, and I know it was well packed. So I'm proud of that. Anyways,
Mm-hmm.
and then the Phife thing, like that's how I connected with Redman. Is we put out the song with Phife, and then Redman like DM'd us and was like, "Yo, I love this song. I listened to it like 100 times this morning." And he's like, "I'm already getting the beat. I'm doing a remix. I'm gonna show you. We've actually done 2 songs with Redman now."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Just one thing led to another. You know, like the ball got rolling.
Who else is on your dream list of like you would love to have a song with or to work with?
Q-Tip,
Oh yeah,
Erykah
big time,
Badu,
big time.
Fonte.
Mm-hmm.
Hit me up.
Give you a
I'm
discount.
ready to work. Those are probably
Top.
my 3.
That would be crazy, dude. The day.
Who would you like to hear though?
Oh. Ooh.
That's what I want to know.
Andy, good old cheeky Andy.
Cheeky Andy. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's closer possibility to actually happening.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
By cheeky Andy, I mean Anderson .Paak.
We'll see.
Who else? Ooh.
That's good bacon.
Right?
It's really
Especially baked. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah.
But yeah. There's so many I feel that could like really ride off of your guys' tracks. I'm trying to think of like a female vocalist at the moment. I do really love the Diamond Cafe track.
Sweet.
Paradise. Like
Oh.
that was the song that I used on the Instagram. Like I feel like their vocals were so good on the production. Like I really see that as like a summer hit too.
Sweet. Yeah, that was a fun song to make. Shout outs to Diamond as well.
What is that process like for you guys? Like in terms
With
of
Diamond?
well, or just like making your music in general. Is there a certain kind of like I don't know, formula that you go for when you create or
There's no formula. Every song is different. For example, with the Diamond song.
can you grab that plate and put it over there for
Yeah.
me?
It
I'm in a
started
sweet situation now.
like Diamond came into the studio and we wrote that track, all 3 of us together. Lyrics, melody, like we all did it together. So that's one way of doing it. And then let's say keeping it cool. We had the beat and sent it to Kendra and she wrote a bunch of stuff, sent us what she wrote.
Big shout outs to Kendra Diaz.
Yeah.
Beautiful, amazing vocalist.
The best. And then we reworked together what she already had. And then with, let's say, Abstract Rude, he came to the studio with his verse and just laid it down, and that's just what it was. Like, you know, so
One time.
yeah. So every song is different. I think that's something that's really fun about what we do, working with other people. I like being a production duo because we get to collaborate with vocalists a lot. It's not just like our vocals, our beat. You know, it gives us the freedom to make a lot of different types of songs, I guess.
This is for you, Nikki.
Aw.
A little
look at
donut.
that.
A little donut for Dilla.
For my birthday, too.
And a little donut candle for your B-Day.
I'm 34, guys. That's
Yes!
Yeah.
30 plus Wisdom Club.
Yeah.
What is your go-to birthday song? If you were to DJ yourself a birthday song right now, which birthday song would you choose?
Birthday song. Let's go with Miami by Will Smith.
It doesn't even have the words birthday in it. It's party in the sea when the heat is on, all night on the beach till the break of dawn. I'm going
Can I
to
blow it up?
Miami. And Benivo, Ami. I think those are the words. Yeah. But did you make a wish?
One girlfriend. Yeah, I made a wish.
You want to share?
I know how this works. You can't trick me.
Yeah, but
I can't tell
also,
my wish.
if you tell your wish, maybe there's someone out there who can help make that wish happen.
Well, if there's someone out there that can, they already know what that wish is.
Ooh.
Okay.
Secrets. Well, that's it. That was your one little moment. You got half of a track.
That's what I...
You know?
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah, so this one is the sweet French toast. It's got cinnamon. That's it.
Cinnamon.
And strawberries.
Strawberries.
Yeah.
Syrup.
I was reading in, the Bandcamp, Bastard Jazz, talking about what Eat Your Heart Out means, and just kind of like the compilation of all of these songs being about, the subject matter that is written about the most of all time, which is love and all the different things that we encounter and experience with love.
It's true. There's definitely a love theme for the album. And that's probably the easiest thing to write about for me. Just because, for lots of people, I don't know. It's just, it's very relatable, and a lot of writing comes from like feeling kind of some way in love or heartbroken or whatever it is. Like, just a good therapeutic experience for when you're dealing with your feelings. But yeah, so the album is about the songs are about various stages of love, like meeting someone new, or when the relationship's been going on for a long time and you're not really sure like where to take it from there, or it's ending soon, or you messed up and you want to get back together. Like, yeah, there's a lot of like themes like that, I guess, in the lyrics. Like paradise, come home, keeping it cool, distant love, it's all love. Secret mission, like everything, it's all about love. It really is. It's just the easiest thing to write about.
Well, other than it being the easiest thing to write about, did you find that it was like therapeutic in the process for you to...
For sure, yeah. That's partly why I make music, is because I have to. I have to get through something. Like last time I broke up with a girlfriend, I think the first thing I did was like go to the studio and make like the beat for what became Paradise. It was originally called Prefab Rehab. Prefab Sprout is the reference. A band I love.
You're really good at coming up with names.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I remember, what was the one? Intimate Strangers?
Yeah, Intimate Strangers.
That was a good name for, what was that for again?
That was my EP title for Bastard Jazz.
Yes.
Yeah.
There was another one, but every time I've come to see you or talk to you, which, by the way, like, to share the relationship and connection, do you even remember the first time we met?
Well, we have so many memories together. It's hard to remember what was the first one.
What's your favorite memory? Just
go
let me know.
My favorite memory is probably like just being on one of those road trips with you, going to Seattle to like play a show, eating in some random restaurant on the road with friends. I don't know, just those little traveling times are fond memories for sure. Getting out on like the side of the road and just like walking around. I don't know if you remember that. We have some like pictures of us just like on the side of the road in between Vancouver and Seattle.
Yeah.
Side of the road.
Nick is definitely one of my favorite DJs, and throughout the years I've had him on board to play some of my parties and gigs, especially that connected with the dance community, because I felt like, musically speaking, a lot of dancers love the stuff that you play, but also that everywhere that I've traveled, especially connecting with dance community, street dance, club dance community, like people have heard of Potatohead People. And when I'd say that y'all are from Vancouver and you're two dudes they're all like, wait, what? Like, had no idea, you know? So I feel like you guys have been like internationally famous, but low key, you know, without.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
Yeah, I like it like that. You know, that's one thing about being a production duo is like, we're not like, our faces and stuff are not like the brand of our music. The music is the brand.
Yeah.
And so you get a little bit of this like low key vibe that I like. I don't really like to be the focus of things too much.
Yeah.
Personally.
Let the music speak for
Yeah,
itself.
let the music speak for itself, and yeah, I think we do have a following like all over the world. I'm really grateful for that, and it's cool to be able to go places and meet fans. I remember when I went to Japan last time, and we were in Osaka, and somebody recognized me on the street.
Really?
And came up to me. And they were like, yo, Potatohead People. And I was like, this is insane. And Nate's parents were in like Hungary or something recently.
Yeah.
And Nate's dad had a Potatohead People hat on the first day they got there. And some kid was like, hey, cool hat, Potatohead People.
Whoa,
and Nate's
in
dad,
Hungary.
like, that's my son. Yeah. Yeah. We're really popular with musicians. I think that's where a lot of it spreads is like through the musician scene.
Yeah. Speaking of musicians,
Yeah.
let's bring it back to last week.
Yeah.
When you had your album release
Oh, yeah.
party. Happened at the Pearl.
You were there.
It was great.
I saw you.
Brought the old school squad of friends. Like, there was an era of, I would say, like 2018 when a bunch of us were hanging out a lot. And I brought together a bunch of those same friends to come and see your show. And that was really nice. It was like a reunion for all of us.
That was really
and
sweet.
it was sick to see a 10-piece, was it 10? 10 players?
Yeah, I think there was 10 of us.
10-piece band playing some of your oldies, some of your newbies,
Yeah.
having Kendra being able to sing live, which was nice. I haven't seen her perform in forever. But let's take the opportunity right now to tell me who were all those musicians, because y'all forgot to shout them out at the show.
Well, we didn't forget. We purposely didn't shout them
What?
We didn't shout anyone out. We didn't shout it. We came to play the music and get off stage. That's what we came to do.
You didn't even tell anyone, hi, I'm Nick.
No.
Like, just keep the mystery. Any
Yeah.
of these guys could be Nick and Nate.
Doesn't matter. But yeah, we had a lot of our mainstays. You know, Kai Basanta on drums, David Mergen saxophone, Thad Bailey Mai trumpet, Tristan Paxton on guitar, Nate Astrological was on keys this time, and Jamil, don't know his last name, played bass with us for the first time, killed it.
Yes.
Justin Juan on second keys, K-Pop, Kendra on vocals.
I was
Am I
very proud of
missing anybody?
K-pop
I
too.
think that's about it.
How about the other keys? There was like a second key.
Nate and Justin Juan.
Okay.
Yeah. Shouts to Justin at Capilano University, one of the youngest keyboard players.
Yeah, I was
coming
gonna
up on
say,
scene.
he's a
like
new
19
fresh
or
face.
20, yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you find him?
Through the music scene. Through musicians, and he's like one of those guys at Cap that people are talking about or whatever, so yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how we found out.
I really loved that show. It was great. Jamal has a question. What's your question? Wants to know about K-pop and his involvement in writing songs and in the live shows.
K-Pop's, yeah, we share a studio with K-Pop. It's called The Flower Shop. And we write a lot of songs together, like the hooks and stuff on like Come Home. We like worked on that together. He writes all his own verses and stuff. Sometimes we write bits of his verses like together. Like he'll have something, he'll come in and I'll give him my input, and vice versa. Like I'll have a hook, and he'll kind of like help me turn it into something. But yeah, K-Pop is one of my best friends. Yeah, we work together a lot. We're always writing stuff.
He was so hype at the live show.
Yeah, he
like
killed it.
I texted him after. I'm like, bruv, you're an excellent MC, not just like as a rapper MC, but like in getting the crowd amped and doing call and response and just
Yeah,
really
he
being a
killed it.
stage presence, running back and forth and all around.
Yeah, he killed it. My favorite was Ungodly. I don't know if you know that song, but
How does it go again?
you're so vain.
Yeah.
Probably
I think the song's about you. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a fun live song. And just to see everyone in the crowd like kind of like doing this, I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is not what I expected, but
Did it take a lot of rehearsals to be able to turn your guys' productions into a live experience and
I
performance?
wish we had the luxury of that. We only had 2 rehearsals.
What?
And,
For real?
Yeah, and
That's impressive
neither
for
of-
2 rehearsals.
And neither of them had everybody there. So
Yeah,
that was
'cause
the
it's hard
first.
to
That was the
organize 10
first time
people.
that we played all together. Was that show ever with that group of people? And yeah, like I said, we probably ran through the set 2 or 3 times. And some of the songs we didn't even play once. Like the encore or whatever, What It Feels Like, we never played that.
Really?
We didn't practice it. Yeah.
That's professional musicians, though. Like,
I think it worked out.
I think it worked out great. What's hilarious is like how we all expect an encore now. Like that's almost like a,
Right.
you know. So how, like, is there any point in walking off the stage?
Yeah. Well, we I don't know. We thought, this is our release party. Maybe there'll be an encore. There had been recently at a couple of the shows people being like, one more song. So we were like, let's prepare something, right? So yeah, I don't know. We were like, basically we said, okay, let's just have one last song that if they do ask for one more,
This is the one.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what's next?
We got a new album in the works.
Already cooking.
With an artist. I'm not gonna say who it is, but we've got a new album we're doing with one like specific
Artist.
vocalist. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that like a PHP collab or is
Yes.
it under their name?
It's a Potatohead People X blank album, and
What? So like when are you gonna reveal it?
not for a while. We're still working on it, but we have like 20 songs made already, and like 10 of them are like super dope.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Aw.
excited. So that's what's next.
Sick. I mean, doesn't surprise me. You're
But
always
it's gonna be a
cooking.
bit. It's gonna be a bit.
Yeah.
We're still writing this album. We got a lot of stuff to do with this, remixes and cool stuff like that. So
Any more performances down the road that you're thinking are
yeah,
gonna happen?
yeah, we're gonna plan some stuff. Yeah,
Sweet.
but
Wow.
it's a mystery.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens next.
Aw.
Yeah.
Nikki, it's an hour. We did it. Like we made a breakfast. We had a cute chat.
I feel so good.
Got to learn more
so
about
full.
you and especially about this album that came out. I think my last question for you before we wrap is like, is there any pieces of advice or something that you'd like to impart to the young musicians and music community of Vancity?
Yeah, just have fun. Just have fun.
Such a dad response. You're entering uncle status of the scene now, I think.
For sure. Crazy Uncle Nick.
Yeah. Crazy Uncle Nick. Find him on the internet, under @Potatohead People, @Nick_wisdom. Am I right?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Say that again.
Shoutouts to Eli.
Eli Muro. What's up?
What's up, buddy?
Thank
I'm
you for
doing laundry tomorrow on the drive. Hit
Come
me up.
through. Yeah, you tuned in at the very end. We're about to go offline, but yo, shout outs to everyone who's watched, who's tuned in, who will watch the replay afterwards. This has been Nick Wisdom, Kazi, your host, Jazzy Production, and you've been watching Vancity Beats, Eats, and more.